Well, look who I have here. Mags.
Hey, Jules.
Hi, Mag.
Hey.
I'm well. Thank you for this lounge chat again. I've got my cup of tea and we're going to have an update on what's been happening with Mags. And
I'm so excited about today's tip.
hey, you know what? I've just realized that you have your jumper on, that you had your shower in with when you were just having your head done, and you had that jumper on for the shower.
Yeah, now I don't need the jumper on. I have had a shower 15 days in a row now.
15 days in a row. Have you had your jumper on or off?
Off.
You've been naked in the shower.
15 days in a row. It took me 4 months, 3 minutes, and 30 seconds to get 15 days in a row.
Well done, Max. How is that feeling?
As clunky. I'm always wondering if today is going to be the day that I don't. So
Oh,
I'm like an addict on still on a journey, to be honest. But
yeah.
I'm amazed
Yeah.
because this is the first habit that I've ever been this consistent in. Normally I give up by now.
I'm so proud of you. Just remember little steps.
It's amazing, but I've also decided to no longer write about the narrative of my trauma story or talk about it in public
You
unless I absolutely have to.
what? Sorry, can you repeat
I've
that?
decided I've decided not to write about write about the narrative of negativity or my trauma story, so I no longer write in the negative. And I made a public declaration that I was no longer going to do that
Okay. Wow, that's a biggie.
because I have to make a switch that was then, this is now. Otherwise, I'm still living in because what I found was, even though I was making these small steps, I was still living in my past as if it was still happening today. So I had to make a conscious choice to no longer do that. And it's like every 30 seconds I have to remind myself I'm not living back then, I'm living now. So it's a constant oops, oops, oops kind of thing. And but I'm really looking forward to our next chat next week because I need to get on top of my sugar intake. And I know that you've beaten that. So next week I'm really looking forward to that discussion because it's serious. Like I have cut down my coffees still to about six a day, but my sugar content with those including the coffee sachets because it's got sugar in it already. I had 3 sugars on
Also,
top, on top of what's in those sachets. Imagine that 6 times a day.
well, it's better than 20 times a day, Max.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, but is it easy? No, you have to really work at it. And I went to a business boot camp to learn about branding, but what I found out about was that I had more backfilling to do in terms of the skills that I hadn't learned when I was growing up, rather than business and marketing, which was okay because it's more important to fix your personality and the bits of you that you missed out on before. I think we touched on it before when I said that because I was in a wheelchair, my parents and society at large are used to doing everything for me because they don't think that I can do it, and so I learned what's called learned helplessness. And so, even though I'm chronologically 52 in my developmental catching up stage, I'm still at about I'd say less than 12 in terms of some of the um practices that I do. Like I don't even brush my own hair, or choose my own food, or choose my own clothes. So I had to install those habits, and I can't read someone's emotions, someone's emotions by text. I have to actually see their face to be able to tell what emotion they're feeling. And even then, I can't tell, for instance, now because you've not got a frown line or a smile, and like your teeth are not showing, so I can't tell if you're happy, sad,
Mm.
or what. But there's just things that I haven't been able to pick up, and I haven't learnt good emotional hygiene. Like I haven't learned how to self-regulate my nervous system. So I've actually enrolled in a Tai Chi class to learn how to slow down my movements and to breathe from my ribs instead of my chest or my or my because my stomach doesn't even move, you see. I don't have any movement or lung capacity. So when I signed up, they said, "Are you mad? Because you can't stand up to do the stance. You can't stand up to do any of the actual movements. So why did you join?" And I said, "Because I need to re-regulate my nervous system because it's like it's on crack all the time. Because it's always anticipating danger." But I wanted to also catch up with you and see if you had any biohacks or hacks that could help my clunkiness in terms of processing emotions and what comes up for me, because that's the biggest downfall with all this change. You forget how to process stuff, and you think it should take this amount of time or this amount of time, and when it doesn't, you kind of get down on yourself. And I've got this notion that if you do something wrong, well, then you have to punish yourself for it. I've always got to be doing something well or right or perfect. I can't do something not right. Like like yesterday, I must confess to your viewers, I feel so stupid. Yesterday, I called her Julie and I said, "Morning, Julie, time for the podcast." And she's like, "Hang on, there is tomorrow." And I'm like, "Holy crap." And what you don't know is literally my system had a meltdown. I had to call one of my coaches and say, "Holy crap, I appeared on the podcast. I rang the podcast organizer a day early, and my system was like so severe that I started hitting myself in the head. And I
Mm.
haven't hit myself in the head for 3 months. And I was like, started to scratch my face, and I was like, holy cow. So when I say to you that I can't get anything wrong, my nervous system is kind of jacked up. So it's like, holy cow. Because I'm not late. I'm always reliable. I'm not late. I try to always have the same Zoom link. I always contact you via the same Zoom link. I can't use a different one. That's just how my brain works. I have to use the same one every meeting. I can't I can't use a different one. I have to go to the same email that you sent me 2 weeks ago. So
Wow.
it's just how my brain works.
So, Max, can I ask you something? Because I'm pretty new to Zoom. So, even though I sent you a link for today's time, you have used another one and that's come onto here.
Yeah. I
Wow.
use the old one.
I didn't know that that even happened. But
Yeah,
anyway,
you can
that's
use the old one as long as as long as it's the same user, you can use the old one. I've been contacting my coach for 3 years on the same link.
so because it's you and I, it's okay.
Yeah,
Wow, I didn't know that. So thank you for
yeah, yeah,
sharing
yeah.
that.
So that's what happens if your nervous system is so used to having to be perfect or right, and this concept of right and wrong. Um, so like it's very black and white. If you do the crime in my book, you got to do the time. There's no leniency, nothing. There's no black. It's either black or white. It's like So I was panicking because you said 10 o'clock, right? And I was like, uh, she's not here. And then I saw your husband, and I'm like, okay, did I get the wrong day again? No, 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 no. So I was I was panicking like, if someone doesn't turn up dead on time, I'm like, why were you late? How come you're not here? You see 10 o'clock, it's one past, it's 1 minute past. I was going to leave the meeting. That's how serious it is. Hey, when I leave my house, I have to time how long it's going to take to get there. If I'm 5 minutes later than I estimated, I have a panic attack.
Mm.
So it's like very yeah. So this change thing is great if you're normal, but if you're neurodiverse as well, it's kind of even more clunkier. So I would appreciate it if your viewers also could chime in on how to not have this paradoxical kind of black and white kind of way of looking at change and processing emotions and having a regulated nervous system. It would be good to get the discussion going because we're all in this emotional quagmire soup together. This is a community, and I'd love to get different perspectives on this. And
Well,
because
are you okay if I share now, Max?
yeah,
So, why my husband was on the screen, it's because my nervous system wasn't regulated and I was on the toilet. Because this morning I have been quite rushed and I actually haven't been regulating my nervous system as like I should. So, even though you see yourself as not normal, I see you as human and I'm human, and we are parallel with like working through a lot of stuff. Where I'm trying to work on regulating my nervous system. I was at the psychologist on Friday getting more tools on how I can feel, more better with my nervous system. And when you say that you're in the age of 12, I can see me there. I can see that because I've followed so many patterns and beliefs and conditionings that I'm unpacking about what I can do rather than what I always have done. So even though you're in a wheelchair and you have CP, we are very much alike because you say about, what to wear and brush your hair and what to eat and things like that. I can see there's a lot a lot of things that are the same, that I just have always eaten the same food, but I've been unpacking this for a long time. And this is new to you, Mag. So just remember, be kind to yourself. And I know you're talking about sugar, but how about you have a look at that? 2 weeks ago, you were drinking 20 cups of coffee with all this extra sugar. In 2 weeks, you're down to 6 cups of coffee. You've got the sun on your face, you've got the curtain
I
open,
know.
you're
Isn't it
showering with
great?
no clothes on for 15 days. Like, oh my goodness, how beautiful is that? So be really kind to yourself and look at the steps that you're making. It's just huge. If I could give you a hug, I'd give you a hug. And
And I really also want to chat with you about how you feel about saying things like I went to the I went to the um psychiatrist. How do you feel about saying that out loud? Like it's embarrassing because I've been to one of those places for years. I used to go, and it's like there's a lot of stigma around even having a mental illness, right? In my workplace, I work in one of the biggest healthcare providers in my country, and in my workplace, we don't mention that we've got a mental illness, because if you do that, you're stigmatized by the other workers that you work with. So a lot of us with mental health issues in our workplace don't speak about it because there's stigma even in a health provider, you know. And so, how do you feel about talking about your um, difference in terms of mental health or whatever it is in the public arena? How
well,
do you get around
thank
it
you.
yourself?
Thank you for asking me that, Mags. I see a psychologist. I don't think I said psychiatrist, I'm not sure, but see a psychologist, and also I see a holistic counselor. And without them, I would not be alcohol free and sugar free. They have helped me unpack so many things. And this stigma about mental health, I don't like that word mental health, because I feel all humans have mental health issues. It's just that people are more aware of it than others. And I'm very aware of it. And I'm very aware that I've used alcohol and sugar to make me feel better. But I'm very aware that I don't want that anymore. And I want to break that pattern. So, mental health to me has got that stigma. But I feel like it's all part of the whole self, no different to emotion, no different to mental, no different to physical, and no different to spiritual. I just need help with the mental part, the headmaster part that's ruling. And letting me feel more in my body. So I actually was a little bit shamed to be even say that I might need to see a psychologist. But now, with my openness, I feel like it is something that I need, and I feel like a lot of people need it. And if
Yeah, because
and if they
what
strip
why
away,
my reluctance goes like this. You see, on the media, they say, "Oh, this crime was committed," and the reason uh, it was committed by someone that just happens to have a mental health illness, and they say that more and more crimes are being committed by people that have schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, or what, and they like make a point of saying this person has mental health illness, therefore they're more likely to commit a crime. And if they didn't say that, and if they didn't say, "Oh, this person has a mental health illness and connected to crime, then we wouldn't, then I wouldn't feel like I'm more likely to commit a crime because I have a mental illness. It's already bad enough that they've given me this label that I don't want to wear like a plaster. And now they've said, okay, because I have a mental illness, the statistics say not only would I possibly be more at risk of suicide, but I would be more at risk of committing a crime because my head is not right or because my heart is not right. Now you wouldn't say that, you wouldn't say that statement to someone that had broken their arm and had gone to the doctor to get their arm put in plaster. So why do we glorify it on the news and say, "Oh, this person committed this crime because they had a mental illness"? I think we have to stop doing that because it makes people feel, I feel, ashamed that they have this and that their mental illness is the reason that they committed a crime or that there's something wrong with having it. There's nothing wrong with having it. That's why I connected with you and said I wanted to talk about it because there's nothing wrong with me having to take a medication to regulate my biological system.
Yeah. Do you mind me sharing again, Max?
Yeah, not a problem, mate.
Yeah. Um, I don't actually watch the news anymore, because I feel that a lot of people are very much about the physical and they're not actually like seeing the whole picture. So just like a pie pieces, you know. So the shame with the mental that I have worked through, I don't actually see it as a bad thing that we're actually that I'm recognizing the headmaster self, because it is true, you know. And when you actually hear and read a lot, I'm not the only one that actually has this headmaster self telling me to do things, you know. It is normal in a human being, but it's everyone has to process it the way they process it. And for me, I just, when I come to understand that there's more parts of me than my head, then that's when the gap widened of me not understanding the news, because they're not actually talking about the whole picture. They're just talking about the physical piece of pie. When I talk about the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual. So, so that's why I say that I feel very much round and society is very much square because of their way of thinking. And as I've openly started sharing about my roundness, it's just brought to my attention that there are so many round people who actually have those pieces of pie and they actually can relate to all of them rather than being all the mental part.
I think what saddens me is that I've been in the system for a long time now, and 25 years I've been living in residential care, and they still see you as like they still see you as departmentalized. So they'll give you an appointment for your wheelchair. They'll give you an appointment for your for your medication. They'll give you an appointment for this and that. They don't see you as a whole person. They see you as um okay, this and this and this and this. They don't look at you from a holistic point of view. They look at me from a label. I have spastic cerebral palsy, hemiplegia, quadriplegia, and that's how they see me. They see me as a diagnosis. They don't see me as a woman. They don't see me as a entrepreneur and a coach. They don't see me as a recovering overeater. They don't see me as someone that likes WWE They don't see me as someone that likes sport on the weekends, and they don't see me as someone that likes to go to the beach. They see me as uh, how much has she decreased this? How much has she increased? How much has she increased this habit? How much has she taken away this one? Is her condition declining or is it improving? And they don't look at it from how can we make her uh, or help her achieve her best life. Um, I just want to say that if it wasn't for my care team and the people that get me up in the morning, I wouldn't be able to present anything to the world. So I think I want to give a shout out to caregivers and people that work in the system because they're the ones that provide us with the ability to get up and to live our best lives. And without those people supporting us, we could I couldn't even be having this conversation. And I think it's about time that the government and society at large actually acknowledge what they do, particularly since COVID. We've lost a lot of good workers because they've been told either they vaccinate or they get out of the system, which is unfair because we lose good workers because of that. So I just want to give a shout out to however you help in the caregiving sector. Without you guys, we would be absolutely fried. And so I think you're angels. Anyone that works in the healthcare facility changes people's lives, not only my life but my family's life and society's life. It has a great impact, and also like if you want to do even a bigger step, employ someone with a disability in your business. Employ someone because just because our legs doesn't work, our brain does, and we can add millions of dollars to your revenue because some of us are smarter, some of us are got degrees, and some of us can bring some real strong market positioning to your business. And so I want to speak to all those employers out there that are thinking, well, can I employ someone that's reliable? I tell you, someone with a disability will turn up every day on time because they want to be part of a community. We want to work, we want to give back to society, and we want a fair wage in doing that. But I'm penalised for wanting a fair wage. I can only earn $8,000 a year above my benefits. Otherwise, I get penalised and I have to pay back the government. Now, how unfair is that? I earned $27,000 a year doing my job last year in healthcare, and I got penalised for that. And yet they say to us, get out there and try and earn a living so you can give back to society instead of being a drain on society. But as soon as we get out there and use our own initiative and find our own opportunities, I'm not looking for a handout, people. And Julie's not looking for a handout. We're looking for a hand up.
Hmm.
And yeah, so thank you for giving people like myself and yourself a place, a community to belong. You know, a place where we can be real and raw and just have a cuppa on the couch on a
Yeah.
Tuesday or
Yeah.
Wednesday,
Yeah,
whatever day,
exactly.
because if we don't have this, people people are lonely. Loneliness is the biggest um epidemic. You know, I was talking to someone online the other day who said, "You are the only person that's commented on my Facebook in 2 years." And I
Wow.
haven't had a conversation with anyone because they got no family that come to visit them at the rest home. They got no friends. They got no one that checks up on them anymore. And they cried. They said thank you for answering my Facebook comment and interacting with me. So you don't know how much of an impact you can make just by commenting on someone's post. And so please make a point of reaching out to those that don't have family in rest homes because they might not even have a cat either, or they might not be able to go for a walk. You know, I had no idea that this poor woman had no one interacting with her for that long. It is really sad to me how we have put money above and profit above people,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that's why your story matters movement is so important, Mags, because we get to chat with people who want to be heard or want to be engaged with and hear other one's story in a nice community. So, if you are interested, and Mags and I are part of it, if you're interested in the Your Story Matters movement, please.
Come join us, please.
Yeah, and we look forward to having a chat with all of the people who just want to be heard and seen and share their rawness and their realness and let us know and get in touch with us and I can send you the link. Well, thank you very
Canadians
much,
and
Matt.
Americans, everyone's welcome
Yeah,
from
that's
all over
right.
the world.
Yeah. And Max, I know you have another appointment. So thank you very, very much for catching up with me today on the lounge.
You're welcome.
And I look forward to seeing the growth in the next couple of weeks. And
It's going to be amazing. Thank you.
and just remember, be kind to yourself and also your story matters.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.